Professor Chael, your leader, who you are to follow and listen to blindly. And I feel my grasp is not as strong as I would like it when we start talking boxing. And you're the audience. Got a huge boxing audience. I don't get you to agree with me very often, and that doesn't happen in MMA. That doesn't happen when we do movie reviews. That doesn't happen when I tell you the problem with putting red onions on a burger. That doesn't tell you about the shampoo that I use with my dog. Like, you guys are very good at understanding the exchange here. I speak, you shut up. You take what I say as gospel. But in boxing, I'm trying to figure out our disconnect. And there's not a lot of people. I find maybe I should be proud of this. But maybe I shouldn't. There's not a lot of people that have the same competitive mindset as I do, which is I want to compete. I want to compete, man. When I was fighting, my biggest problem with the sport, my only complaint, is that we only get to do it 3 times a year. That drove me crazy. I couldn't believe guys that did it 4 and 5 times got praise. I couldn't believe it. My entire life, dual meet on Thursday, complete with a weigh-in. Tournament on Saturday, 5 matches one day. 6 matches a week, all through high school, all through college. And we go to 3 a year. If anybody called me for a match, it was a yes. Any organization, any weight, any way you wanted to do it. That grappling started picking up. Yes. Every time. And I only share that there was some of those battles that were going to be very difficult. I had not grappled before, and I drew a main event against Andre Galvao. Just for example. That's an uphill battle. But there's no part of recognizing that battle that would reduce my eagerness to do it. And I hear people talk about fights. And I know we're different people right off the bat. When somebody throws a fight out, I'll give you a great example. Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul. Now, if you want to complain about that fight or you're not interested in that fight, you go right ahead. That's a different conversation. I'm using this as an example. When somebody throws out, okay, it's going to be Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua, what do you think of that? And all I'm really asking you is, will you watch it? That's what I'm asking you. And I'll get somebody that gets in front of all of that and goes, oh, they'll never have. That's a terrible fight for Jake Paul. It's like, okay, but we can now stop. We are not the same person. I mean, we have announcers in our sport that don't have that mindset. That it literally blows their mind that somebody would go into a competition where they're fully aware that they're overmatched. It blows their mind. And it blows mine that a professional would consider that. I can't imagine. And that's literally what a scumbag bully does. Where he picks on people that he believes that he's stronger than. I just couldn't imagine. So, I brought a great argument to you guys a week ago. And it was Manny Pacquiao, who'd sat out for 4 years. Absolutely no competition. He was going to return for a world title fight. But this was the same time as Jake Paul got ranked number 14, which allowed him to be eligible all the way up to a world title fight. And that can't happen. Jake Paul's victories over the opponents he had and the opponents past, whether they were world champions and greatest ever in multiple weight classes, it didn't matter because that was a long time ago. So you don't get credit for taking from those guys what they did. However, Manny Pacquiao did nothing for 4 years. Did not throw a punch. And not only qualified in your mind for a world title fight, Didn't he have a draw? I mean, didn't you really get this shoved up your ass for how dumb you are? Didn't he go out and almost win that fight, almost stopped him in the second round? I think it was a draw. But my argument doesn't change. If past work doesn't count, and that's what you're saying about Jake Paul and his opponents, you're saying their past work doesn't count. Okay, Manny did no work, but got the opportunity because of past things that he did. And we all understand that. But I just asked you to rectify how Manny's past work could get him a world title fight, but Jake's current work, because those opponents' resumes come from the past, doesn't get there. And we did not. Me, by the way, I mean, I have you. I got you beat. I got you beat 5 different ways. There is no jury in the world that would see it for you. But you argued it anyway. And now come strong conversations of Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. And the reason that can't happen and the reason that won't happen is because Joshua can beat him. And we're just speaking a different language. That should make you respect Jake instantly. But I just want you to hear the argument. The fight will not happen because Joshua is so much better than Jake. Now, Jake is the one asking for it, so you're wrong right off the jump. But let's just have the conversation. I want to repeat it a third time. The fight will not happen because Joshua is better than Jake. Now, you're not taking it from Joshua's standpoint that, hey, Joshua wouldn't agree to that, man. He's so much better. He's not going to do it. You don't take it from that standpoint, and it would seem to me that would be the logical standpoint. Why on earth, if it in fact is an easy fight, would Joshua not do it? He's a prize fighter. You're always looking for the biggest paycheck against the easiest opponent. It's your job. It's your management's job. The entire reason you come to the media and attempt to manipulate it and talk your way into opportunities because you want the biggest paycheck with the easiest opponent. The Floyd Mayweather approach. It's the right approach. If you have any other approach, you're a fool. Now, but please hear me out. The fight, a fourth time, the fight cannot happen because of the discrepancy in skill of Joshua and Jake. And you're not talking from Joshua's standpoint. You're talking about Jake. Jake won't take it. Jake shouldn't take it. Jake can't take it. Jake won't take it. This is what you're taking it from. But if that's true, if this cowardly approach is actually what professional fighters that go in the gym every day and say they want to do this, if that's really who they are inside, you're still balanced out at a 50-50 because that would mean that Jake doesn't want it because it's so hard. And if that is true, then that would mean Joshua does want it because it's so easy. So which is it? Which is it? And just so you know, when we're talking boxing, which you know nothing about, and I don't say this with all due respect, I say it as condescending but as sincere as possible, you have never thrown a punch. You have never had a punch thrown at you. You could not stand up now and show me proper form in boxing, and there's only 4 moves. There's a jab, a cross, a hook, and an uppercut. There's only 4 moves. You've never done any of the 4. But you sit back like the other guys with their gold teeth and their 8th grade education and act as though they know boxing. And if you think a fight shouldn't happen because one guy is so much better, then who is it that you think, because you're not representing Jake and you're not representing Anthony, you're explaining who you are. So tell me who you are. Are you the side that doesn't want a big paycheck for a guy he can beat? Or are you the side that's not willing to make the walk when the deck is stacked against you? Because Jake Paul is like me. Perhaps I should say I like him. but you're not.